Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody who may never see this. This is Seafood Alexander Faust, the Whiff, come back at you with some more top 10 lists. It's been a while since I made this. I don't know if I should say more because I think previously I did top 20. I've been making a couple top 10 and I thought I'd post them. Recently, when I was playing a Warhammer game to sidestep, I made a big mistake. So with that said, if you see any mistakes here with the names, or if I say something by accident, please forgive me. I did just quickly make this. This is an obviously high quality, so please have mercy regarding that. Yes, I know things are misspelled. And of course, for this list, there will be major spoilers. So be aware, if you're thinking about checking this out, that there will be major spoilers. The saddest animes I'm going to say right now, are Hunter x Hunter, Angel Beat, or at least have like sad moments. And if you have a really big sad moment, like for a lot of people for One Piece, when spoiler, Luffy's brother dies, that did not make the cut. So this is my own list. There's Hunter x Hunter, Angel Beats, A Silent Voice, Clannad After Story, FMAB, Full Alchemist Brotherhood, Devilman Crybaby, Grave of the Fireflies, Code Geass, or Graveyard of the Fireflies, Code Geass Season 2 ending, Made in Abyss, Yu Hakusho, and Shumatsu Nani Shitemasu. Well, that said, let's go at it. So, none of these are particularly in order. So, Komugi's death. In Hunter x Hunter, there's a couple sad scenes, and I'm not going to go necessarily with that script. That's just something I quickly typed as well. But there are a couple very sad moments, sad very. But in my opinion, the solemn, simple, sad ending of Komugi embracing Meruem as he lay dying, and accepting that his toxic body is before he was like passing out. He told her like, "Hey, if you're near me, you're gonna start getting more and more damage, and you're probably gonna die because I'm like super radioactive." And she's like knight to e4, like she's just playing the game with him, their version of modified shogi chess, and she like doesn't even care. She's like, I couldn't be happier right now. And then as they're playing, he's like, "Hey, I need to close my eyes for a little bit. I'm just gonna take a quick nap, okay?" And she's like, "Okay." And like, because he's going to die. And then in the dark, he's like, "Hey, can you call me by my name once more?" And she's like, "Okay, sleep well, Meruem." And like as she says that, she's bleeding from the mouth and has like sores opening up, so she's going to die. Toxic radioactive poisoning in her body, so she's just embracing him. She herself is deaf and basically didn't have a purpose, didn't have meaning, or at least she didn't feel like that. And she kind of lost her way in life, and so he, as this fucked up monster creature king dude, in besides all his genocide, he at the same time was able to give her meaning. So in a way, he was like a monster Hitler, but he did something nice, and so you can't like give him a free pass for everything bad he did. But at the same time, he still did a nice act, and it was beautiful. And so he dies in her arms, and she dies with him in the dark. And they say, "Hey, we're gonna keep playing our games in the afterlife. We're not done. We're gonna keep playing. We're gonna have a great time." And oh my god. Ugh! Another scene is just when Nanika apologized to Killua, but that just doesn't hit as hard as the Komugi death scene. Ugh. Angel Beats ending. Spoiler, Angel Beats is on two different lists. So Angel Beats originally kind of starts off as this weird, wacky show, and you're not really sure what's going on. And it may not be obvious at first, but they're in basically purgatory. And people are trying to move on from their death and their holds on life, and so they can really actually move on spiritually. And a bunch of characters had the reason they're not moving on is because they had terrible things happen. So the MC helps people move on and is able to embrace his humanity and help them embrace the beauty of their life, their death, etc., the cycle. And he falls in love slowly with this one character, which is just been there forever and trying to help them move on, but like forcibly in a weird way because she's become like apathetic to her emotions. And he actually helps her move on and accept her grief. And they both basically kind of like, are in love with each other. But because she's moved on and he hasn't yet, she just disappears in his arms. And then he's just basically left alone. All of his friends are gone that he met there because he's helped them all move on. And he cries and cries and cries alone in purgatory. I think it just like cuts off there too. I'm not sure if we know what happens to him. He's just kind of left alone. And it's a beautiful thing that he's like helped her soul move on to heaven or get reincarnated or what have you. But he is now just alone, and it's this weird grief point. Oh God, it sucks. And there's other sad moments leading up to this too, with all the other characters. But the ending, whew. A death apology. Gomenasai, gomenatai. So A Silent Voice is so good. It is a masterpiece. And girl gets bullied, is deaf. And dude feels bad about bullying people in his life, almost commits suicide, finds a new purpose in life and trying to pay it forward. And him being so nice makes this other secondary character feel bad that she's like a burden on him, that he has to feel nice or he feels guilty, and she's a burden on other people, and she just gets all this self-manifested hate and, self-esteem doubt. And she has like a call to the void moment. A call to the void is not necessarily like you want to commit suicide, but so you stand at the edge of the cliff and you look down. You look down, and as you look down, you slightly go forward. Just a bit. And then a bit more. What if you checked out what's down there? Keep going and going further and further. And so like it's this call to just go down and to fall, to see what's beyond. And it basically is, it's suicide, but it's like it's this weird thing where it's like you're not actively wishing to die. So she's just this in between of like that and actually wanting to commit suicide, even though that she loves him and he doesn't even understand that. But he like obviously loves her, but he hasn't admitted it. So she feels like this doubt as well. And as she is about to jump off the balcony, he saves her, but at the cost of him falling. And so he's almost dead, lying in a hospital bed, and he ends up getting better. And one of his friends, Ish, visits the girl and beats the shit out of her, and she doesn't fight back because she feels so much guilt over what happened to what would be her true love. And the girl even hits the mom, and it's like you spawned this deaf filth. Like, why even bother like having kids if this is how they are? Why don't you be a real mother and raise them right? Blah blah blah. And the mother of the guy breaks them up and like, this is ridiculous. You two need to stop. And then the daughter is gomenatai, because she can't say gomenasai, which is, I apologize, I'm sorry, because she's deaf. So they're portraying it in the show. It actually says sorry here, but it is I'm sorry, because she doesn't know how to say sorry. But she is so guilt-ridden over the fact that, again, her selfishness to even get rid of herself caused this pain and near death of the one she loves and loves her. So she's just super fucked up. Ushio! Oh my god. Clan Ed. Bad. Clan Ed After Story. Good. Oh my god. So this is a sad, probably this is a lot of people the saddest visual novel ever made. It has 3 huge depressing moments. One with the first female protagonist dying because she has this like she has basically like AIDS. And then but she dies during childbirth, but her body's just like so, not even AIDS, she's just so weak that her body just can't handle like large amounts of physical strain, and she just gets weaker and weaker. I don't know if she dies like tuberculosis or some shit. It's just similar to AIDS in how she acts, how she dies. And then she gives birth, but the dude is so guilt-ridden that he just abandons his own fucking daughter, basically. And he doesn't even want to like be a father. He doesn't feel like he should, and he just also becomes apathetic. He just doesn't give a shit. But then they reconcile, and oh my god, the scene in the flowers. Oh my god, where he's like, I've been a terrible father. Can you please forgive me? And she's like, is it okay now? Is it okay to cry? Like, I've been told only two places I can cry by grandma are in the bathroom where no one can see me and my dad's arms. I want to cry now and there's no bathroom, so is it okay if I can cry? And he's like, yeah, it's okay. And she walks over to him, just like does a 4-year-old tackle and just like starts hugging him and just pouring tears, just crying. I'm almost crying just talking about it. And fuck me indeed. And she's just and she says like, "Hey, I lost my toy robot." And he's like, "It's okay, we could find another." And she's like, "There isn't another toy robot." And he's like, "What do you mean? We bought it at like the station. We could just go buy another one." And she's like, "No, it's the first thing from Daddy. I need to find it." Because before this, they have had almost no interaction. So the first thing she ever got from him, and she lost it on their first like trip together. And so she's like, "It's important. I need to find it." And that's when he realizes, is like, oh fuck, I need this girl in my life. I need to be in her life. And then she dies because fuck you. That's why. Because she inherited her mother's like thing where it makes her frail and fragile, and she just gets sick and dies in the snow. Get fucked. Welcome to Clannad After Story. If you want an anime that's wholesome and will make you fucking cry, go fucking watch this. Big Brother. So yeah, Nina, specifically Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood Nina, not regular Alchemist. Cause that gets weird where like her dad proceeds to then fuse the dog girl onto him, and they become a trifecta creature. And then also in Brotherhood, like she just gets narked by Scar. Ugh. When, unless I'm mistaken, Edward is like gonna kill her dad, she stops him because there's still loyalty and love there in some weird mutated way. She still has some kind of recognition ability because she recognizes Ed as the big brother she talked about, and her dad she still recognizes, and so she doesn't really comprehend or know what's going on, and who fucking knows at this point with the character. But then she gets narked, and it's just the biggest regret for the protagonist. Even at the end, where it's like the quote-unquote happy ending of the show, they're like, no, we still couldn't save her. And that's going to be our biggest regret until we die. And it is just... ugh. The innocent and loyalty at being betrayed. And that's going to come up again. NPC rotisserie. And that spins off the tongue well. Yeah, you can notice some objects in the background. Pay no attention. So the side characters all become shish kebabbed by a crazy society that starts worshiping demons and becoming demons themselves. And these dudes, like, the main character comes back and sees all his friends just butchered, and a bunch of people dancing with them on sticks, and like, hey, and loses his fucking mind. I did not see this coming. I was like, the fuck? The fook? I mean, and this is, again, from Devilman Crybaby. And Devilman Crybaby also has some other weird scenes. It's a bit of a meme, the entire, like, show. But, like, then this happened. And, I don't know. It becomes, like, a rage scene. But I felt, like, betrayed. Like, I was, like, disgusted and sad by it, to be completely honest. Because the characters were interesting. Like, the show was bad, but the characters were interesting. And then this happened. And so I was like, what the fuck? And so this is a really weird one to be on this list. But nonetheless. Yeah. Sister... I had put Sister Soda Death, but I should have put Sister Soda Can. So, Graveyard of the Fireflies is a wonderful, beautiful movie. After you watch it once, you're probably not going to watch it again. It's like, who says, hey baby, I'm in the mood, what do you want to watch tonight? Let's watch Schindler's List! Because that'll get you going. Like, this is so fucking depressing. It's Japan, post-nuke, nearby, people get irradiated. This brother and sister, he tries to get by while helping her and, like, helping themselves, but they have, like, their family just basically disowns them, doesn't give a shit, and the other part of their family is dead, and for their immediate family, and then they're fucked up as well because of the radiation, and she ends up getting cremated and put in a soda can because you can't even give her a proper burial, etc. And then he like starves to death in a subway station, and that's it. That's the end. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's all, folks. Um, it's not a happy ending. It's not a crazy cool fantasy isekai adventure story. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, it's very real, and I think because of that, it's even more of a good story than a bunch of others, and it's not credited enough. I still feel weird for having Devilman Crybaby on here, but like, I at the same time just do not enjoy watching that scene because I just feel so bad for the Makimura people, sister or whatever, girl. Zero Requiem, just stroking out. So I mentioned the Nanika apology here, and Gohan asking Vegeta why, Goten, not Gohan, Goten, apologies, why he hit Trunks when he was actually saving them from Boo. Both of those scenes have great voice actor lines, and there's another one where like Gon is talking to Pito, and that voice actor, that kid, fuck, he was belching that shit out. It was so good. But this is also just an amazing scene with Nanika crying, or Nanali crying, and Lelouch's death. It's the best ending in any story I've ever read, and it's my number one anime for that reason, or read or viewed, because the dude conquered. It has silly moments sometimes. It has court intrigue. It has fucking Gundams. It has goddamn magic. It has the sine wave, the curve of storytelling, which is bad, good, bad. But it flips it on its head, and it actually has a great ending, where the dude basically conquered the world, became the antagonist, and then he becomes the savior by saving the world by uniting everyone, a rally to the flag effect, and basically makes world peace in a way. For how season 2 ends, fuck the movie afterwards. But yeah, it's so good. Best ending ever of any anime, hands down. Please do me a favor and kill Mitty. So the main characters in Made in Abyss meet up with this like rabbit girl, lolly furry thing, and her flesh blob friend. As in the show, you go down this big ass fucking hole in the world. You get kind of warped by the magical energies if you go up in non-very specific places, and more so if you go up quickly, your body will become cursed and get super fucked up. And so it's very easy for people to go down this abyss hole cave system, but it's extremely difficult to come back up, and there's more and more valuable resources for people to go down. And sometimes, very rarely, if you do certain combinations, you'll actually get a quote-unquote blessing by the abyss, and you'll get warped in some way. This was a quote-unquote blessing, not a curse for Mitty. Or she got cursed. The other girl got the blessing. And what happened is Mitty is like deformed, but immortal. It is a flesh blob that regenerates and just can't die. It has like almost no thinking capacity, almost. Very little. There's like supposedly maybe some, but it is like to the point of, an intelligence 2 to 3 dog for D&D. It's very minute. But the protagonists, one of them has the ability to actually kill Mitty. And so her best friend says, please, kill my friend. Because all she can do is suffer and like be ate by other people, turned into stuff. She can't die. And she is just in this tortured existence where she currently also still feels pain. And so it's like, please do her a mercy and kill her. Because the worst thing would be if she was taken away and used for more experiments and stuff. And so that's just a really sad scene where she's just crying as she's begging this dude to kill her. And yeah, Urumeshi's funeral. Urameshi! Forgive me for the bad typing. So when Yusuke, I spelled so much shit wrong. Anyway, who gives a fuck? When Yusuke died, I think this is at the tail end of the very first episode of Yu Hakusho, Spirit Detective. Some of the characters like Kuwabara show up, like, "Hey, I was supposed to fight you. You can't just die on me, bitch." And some of the teachers are like, "The scumbag student's dead. Whoopee." And some other people are sad, etc. His like, the girl crush is there, Kiko, I think. But the highlight which made me cry as a kid, I think when I was typing this last night, actually almost cried again when I watched the YouTube scene. But reason he died is a little kid was playing with a ball in a street, and there's a speedy driver who wasn't paying attention, and so he pushes the kid out of the way after he gave him the ball once. Like he gave him the ball because the kid lost the ball, and then he walked away, and then so he comes back, saves the kid, gets hit by the car, and dies. The kid and his mom attend the funeral, and the mom offers thanks to his big sister, but the kid doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like a 5-year-old. He doesn't have, or 4-year-old. He doesn't have the concept of death, and so he asks when he can go see the nice boy again because the nice guy was playing with him and his ball. He was very funny, making silly faces. He was really fun. Can I go see him again? I want to play with him again, mommy. When can I see the nice man again? And like, she doesn't know how to tell her son that he's dead. He died protecting her boy who was chasing a ball in the street, and so she doesn't know how to say that. So she just embraces her kid and cries while Yusuke, as a ghost, is just watching them. And I'm like, and then it cuts. Like I think that's how the first episode ends, and I'm like, God damn it! Or at least that point is where I forgot. And that was the top 10. With all these lists, I'm gonna have one honorable mention. Shumatsu Nani Shimatsuka. So the entire name of this anime is like 3-4 sentences long. World end. What do you do at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? It's okay. It's kind of weird. I love the premise for the world much better than the anime for the most part. But what gets me is Scarborough Fair. Oh my god. This song got turned on its head for me. So the main character is dying, along with kind of these other secondary characters. They're like elf fairy hybrid humans, where they're basically used as like living bombs slash super soldiers to fight these like alien monsters. And that's, whatever. But they both love each other. However, he and her choose to become unrequited as a sign of their love and their duty, because they both want to protect others. They're both like heroes for the greater good, save the children, etc. And even though they love each other, there's the song Scarborough, tell them to knit me a shirt with no weaves, etc. thread. So it's like impossible tasks to keep them at bay, because if they fall in love, then they're not gonna want to fight to the death to protect people and fight the monsters. And so it's like, hey, they're gonna say I don't love you, even though they do love each other, because they don't want the other one to die, which that's been done before. But at the same time, they're then charging out to fight and save each other, and so it's back and forth, and it's all at the end, the climax. It's very good. Honestly, that was an issue, because I think they could have done a lot more world building if they just ignored the fucking characters and they didn't narc them off. But yeah, that is such a sad song, and that's why it's actually my favorite song for the last like 10 to 15 years now. It is so depressing, and I love it because it is a sign of love to put your lover, the one you love, above your own life, even to the point of pushing them away because you love them that much. And the thing is, though, is it's not one-sided. It's not actually unrequited, because they're doing it too. And with that said, that is the this top 10 list. It's 25 minutes. I know I ranted a lot of stuff is misspelled, and you may not agree with some of my picks here. If you want, then make your own video and put some stuff in. There's some other sad moments in anime. And they just, I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty strong list. I highly recommend you check them out. Obviously, there's a shit ton of major spoilers here. And if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And I like good nature feedback in the comments below. That said, take care and have a great day. Game on, gamers.